I'm with Rebecca Hurwitz and Michelle Hall from the Clayoquot Biosphere Trust. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, get right in there.
Good morning.
Yeah, there you go. Now I can hear you. So what do you think of that? You both are familiar with the Screech, right?
Super fun.
Isn't
Love
it
hearing
great?
from local talent, all those local gems that you might not otherwise get to hear their creative juices.
I think it's great. Sophie does an awesome job.
She does. Michelle, you have not been in here for a while. I haven't seen you.
It's been a while since I've been in, and it's great to be back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you've been busy. It's not that you haven't been doing anything.
It's true. It's true. I've merged to Clayoquot Biosphere Trust, and I think the last time I was in here was probably talking about Surf Rider things.
Probably.
So, yeah.
That would have been like 2 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Don't stay away so long.
Okay. Thanks.
So there's a ton going on. What's brewing is what we're going to talk about today. I want to say one thing before we go to Yuki Holiday Turkey Luncheon's happening today. Lots of local restaurants have prepared food. That's 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. Isn't it great how many things are going on in our communities?
So many things.
Right?
So great to get out and spend time with community members. Just
Yeah.
see your friends, catch up, relax together.
And a lot of people, tonight, the Wiccan in the Shin does the lights drive-through from 6 to 8.
I love that.
And
I
they're
went last year. It was fantastic.
Right? And the
Yeah.
singing's so great. And I think the girls' choir will be there as well
Beautiful.
as the Wiccan in the Shin choir.
The choir's getting around. They were at the Sea of Lights Festival this
Yeah.
weekend. They're there tonight. So
It's amazing. I love how much effort people put in to creating the spirit and getting everybody together, which is what you do at the Clayoquot Biosphere Trust.
we sure do.
I know you do. So let's talk about the first thing. Rebecca, tell us what is the Holiday Giving Catalogue.
Yeah, Cam, for
I
sure.
don't even know about it.
Well, as you said, this time of year is all about giving, love, showing generosity and care. And so the CBT, we've created what's called the Holiday Giving Catalogue. It's an online platform where folks can donate to multiple charities or funds through one transaction and really support those causes that they care about in that spirit of generosity. And the Holiday Giving Catalogue, it emerged in, I think it was 2020, when we were all going through tough times during COVID, and a lot of the local nonprofits and charities are having a hard time having staff and really seeing lower donations than usual, and wondering how they're going to continue to deliver their activities.
Right.
And so we wanted to, as the local community foundation, do something to try to lift all boats. And so we thought if we can create this catalog and folks can collaborate and donate through the catalog, then it takes a little bit of the work of creating a holiday campaign off of those local organizations. And CBT doesn't do any administration fees, anything like that. It's just something we do to support all of the local charities and funds.
So how can people get involved? Where do you go? And then what does it look? Tell us about the process. Like you go to the website.
Yeah,
and
super
then-
easy. Go to the
Yeah.
website.
Pick your thing.
Promoted all over our social media, and all of the organizations that are participating are also promoting it. So you'll see the Holiday Giving Catalog on your social media and click to the link, and then that will take you to a page where you can donate to, I think there's nearly 20 charities that are participating and a number of community funds as well. So you can, make donations through one transaction. You get one charitable tax receipt, and then the local organizations aren't taking on that work.
So you could give to 3 different organizations but get one receipt?
Absolutely.
So that's pretty
Exactly.
cool. And that's
Yeah.
also nice of you to do that, because normally there would be an administration fee or that kind of, because it's taking somebody time
Yeah,
to do that.
it takes time for sure, and especially for organizations that might not have an online platform that does the receipts automatically. We've got a good system for that, so let's leverage that to support all the local organizations rather than...
Yeah. Could you give us an example of just some of the charities available?
Yeah. I mean, it's really great for me to be on the other side of things, because when I was at Surf Rider, we definitely benefited from the Holiday Giving campaign. So now it's really wonderful to see how many charities there are in this region that also benefit from the campaign. Quick fact, there's around 35 registered charities in this region, which I think is phenomenal for such a small region.
Is that unusual?
Well, I think it's
I mean,
fantastic.
it is phenomenal. I just wonder, maybe comparatively. I'm just interested in stuff like that. Sounds like a lot.
We should find that out.
I'd like to. Well,
I just think it's great.
We just did the massive report.
I think that the stats on that are is that means there's 44 full-time employees and 99 part-time employees all doing fantastic work.
I would say that's a lot for such a small geographic area, really.
Plus the hundreds of volunteers that all
Yeah.
donate their time. It's really great. But this year we've got 18 participating charities that are taking part in the campaign, and I'd love to share a little bit about the great work that they do.
Please
Is that okay?
do. I would love that.
Okay. I want you to jump in if you have something really interesting that you like about this charity as well. Either of you.
I don't know if I'll be interesting, but I'll be curious.
Okay. So first up, we've got the Association of the Wetland Stewards with Bob Beasley and her crew. They're doing everything to protect marshes and wetlands and amphibians, and they have this really cool program called SPLAT. And SPLAT stands for the Society for Prevention of Little Amphibian Tragedies, which I think is so cute.
I like Splat. I think they would sell a lot of shirts.
Yeah. I do too. Next up, we've got Wild Safe BC with Bob Hansen and his crew, preventing conflict with wildlife, doing great work. And we've got the Care Network. And I think I saw Luca get his picture taken with Santa.
Yeah, there's lots of dog photos.
They're doing great work, the Care Network. We also have a Santa picture with our little fairy friend. So thanks to James and all of those great folks and volunteers working with the Care Network. Next, we have Carving on the Edge. They're celebrating carving, arts, culture, and education, and of course, that fantastic annual festival that they put on. We've got the folks at Coastal Queer Alliance. They're providing education, workshops that create safe, collaborative opportunities for the queer community. And we also had a workshop presented with Coastal Queer Alliance, which was fantastic. Highly recommend it. The food bank, enough said, they do so much great work.
Yeah.
I bumped into Marnie at the co-op the other day, and she had this trolley full of candy canes and vegetables, and she was sharing with me that she was making hampers for like 20 families in need. And I just think that what the food bank are doing is incredible.
Well, and the stats on that too, as I've talked about already today, and the Wiccan Edition tonight from 6 to 8 will be matching up to $2,000, which will be split between the Fish and Loaves and Food Bank on the Edge. But people are needing it and using it more than in many, many, many years.
Yeah. It's and there's lots of stats in the latest Vital Signs report as well, which highly recommend you look into. Next up, we've got the Pacific Rim Art Society, which bring people together through arts and culture, and we know that creates happy communities. The Pacific Rim Hospice, thanks to Tawny and her crew, they're bringing compassionate care and support for people and families in need. The Rain Coast Education Society with Mark and Sarah, and they are advancing education and stewardship for this region. And I'm definitely sure that I became more of a bird nerd since doing the Shorebird Festival stuff. Just know so much more now.
Mark is a good bird nerd leader.
And he celebrates it. He's proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has a t-shirt with that on,
I
actually.
believe that he does.
And then we've got the Surfrider Pacific Rim team, very close to my heart. I joined a youth club cleanup 2 weeks ago at Flow Bay, and there was 17 kids all passionately cleaning the beach and a couple of volunteers from the Pac Rim crew, and I just think they're doing great work.
How much stuff did you get?
There was a lot
A
of
disturbing amount?
Yeah, they got this huge fishing net, which is, I always feel like getting the big stuff feels so satisfactory. You're like, yeah, get the big stuff off. But then when you look in the weeds and you find all the little tiny microplastics, and you get those people who really just love picking out those like hundreds of pieces of tiny plastics, which, yeah, need to be solved by looking at the root cause of the problem. And Surfrider Pacific Rim have their campaign Take Back the Tap right now, which is fantastic.
Did you say that you went to Flow Bay? So
Yeah.
if you get big fish nets and say like a ton of stuff, how do you get it up?
With mussels.
Mussels.
Yeah.
All right.
And lots of youth energy and stoke.
I'm happy to hear that.
But the other great thing, I'm not hijacking this now because
This is
Surfrider
just
on
an open conversation. It's all right.
They have the fantastic Ocean Plastics Depot at the landfill. So all that stuff now doesn't go in landfill. It gets
They've done a great job out there.
recycled. Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for the next?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay.
Keep on rolling.
We got Thornton Creek Enhancement Society. Dave's doing a great job building salmon stocks and producing education. And you can go down there as a local or a visitor and learn all about that.
See a bear, maybe,
See a bear.
from a safe distance.
Yeah. Otherwise, Bob Hansen with Wildlife BC will
Shock you with an electric wire.
Yeah, he'll come after you.
He won't really do that.
We got Telogria Tribal Parks, and they are providing traditional knowledge and stewardship and restoration of the land and this web of life. And if you haven't looked into being a tribal park ally yet, do so. It's a fantastic program. The Tofino Community Enhancement Society, we were just talking about them. It's Sophie and her great team of folks who are renovating the theater and putting choirs out everywhere and doing Screech and all these events. And if they weren't here, we'd all be totally bored.
Yep.
Really, we would. So
Yep.
thanks, Soph.
And lesser. just lesser.
We got the Tofino Salmon Enhancement Society, and they're addressing diminishing salmon returns, and they also provide education in the schools, so doing great work. The Ucluelet Aquarium, I love these folks. Laura, Britt, John, aside from being able to go to the aquarium, like touch all the critters and learn all about them, I also know that I can text Laura anytime with a photo of a critter that I found and ask her what it is, and she'll send me some really weird fact about how it poops or something just like really interesting and gross.
Sounds like a radio show.
I
right
know
there.
I've just set Laura up as like
Yeah.
a holiday text.
That's very fun.
Next, we got the West Coast Community Resource Society. You've just talked about them. They're providing a community lunch, which is fantastic. Today, they're enhancing the well-being and providing support and counseling and safe shelter. The West Coast Multiplex, can't wait for this to be built. More recreation and a pool in this region.
It's getting closer by the day.
Sam's doing
right?
great work. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
awesome.
really is.
Yeah. And then last but not least, the Wild Pacific Trail. It's hands down my favorite coastal trail in this region, and they're providing lots of education along the way. So that's a lot of my accent.
That's great.
Do we need a break? Or?
Yeah, we'll take a break. So you picked a song. Speaking of your accent, you picked a song.
I would love something by the Beatles, even though you've just played them.
It doesn't matter. People love the Beatles.
All You Need Is Love.
I think
'cause it's the season.
I think it's perfect. We'll play this and we'll be right back. And then we're going to talk about the new center and all kinds of other stuff. The people have spoken. It's not too much accent. It's a great accent.
That's fantastic.
That's what's coming across.
Okay, I'll give you more.
We want more. And then we'll get to Rebecca's accent. Before we get there, though, let's do it. What do you want to do?
Well, I just want to share the wonderful achievement that the Giving campaign has given so far over the years. Over the last 3 years, it's raised $100K. That's a lot of cash.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. It's really cool. And this year so far, we've raised just over $5,500, which is also really cool. But I have a challenge for this community, these listeners who are listening, who may have friends who may be interested. I'm looking for one or more matching donors.
And who will match what?
Well, the matching donor is, it's a really great opportunity to be this hero and donate matching donations up to $10,000.
All right.
It's doable.
So the Biosphere Trust will match a donation up to $10,000?
No, we're looking for a matching donor within the community to match
I
what
see.
we
Now
are
I understand.
raising.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Must be your accent.
It's my accent.
I think I'm figuring it out now. So you're looking for someone who'll say, if someone donates or a whole bunch of people donate $10,000,
Yeah.
we as an organization will match that.
Yeah, as an organization, as someone who visits here, as a second homeowner, as someone who lives here, all of the above. Like, if you're a really rich youth member, maybe you've got 10 grand lying around, And I'll challenge your listeners now. If you're that person, call Cam. Call him now, text him, and make a donation live on air and be that hero.
I'll tell you what, if someone wants to do that live on air, 250-725-4443. That's the live on air one. Or you could text me at 250-266-3134. But if you want to call live on air and say, yes, me as an individual or our organization, we will match. And where will the money go?
The money will be distributed between these 18 charities and within the Holiday Giving campaign, and it runs till the end of December.
That's amazing.
You've got a chance. There's a few weeks left, so I say do it.
I like the challenge. I like the call out. I see some thumbs happening already. Things are good.
That's awesome.
I love it. Double down.
I like a bit of a challenge too, and I think it's fun if people decided they wanted to call and feel that Christmas spirit,
Well, as a matching donor as well, there's so many amazing causes to give to and so many needs in the region. And this way, we know that one organization alone can't solve all of these complex challenges within the region. So as a matching donor, you have the opportunity to support them all.
As a matching donor, would you get a tax receipt for that?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
some businesses don't
Absolutely.
people maybe sometimes it's to their benefit to do something like this anyway, whether that's an individual tax thing or
You'll
a
get
business.
a tax receipt.
Yeah.
You'll get a big high five, probably some hugs. I'll go for a beach walk. Like, let's do it.
I'll throw in a hoodie.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Seriously,
Thanks.
just done deal. Now this is all exciting because you might actually then be able to get a tour of the new center, a private tour.
Oh, yeah.
We're working towards that. Absolutely. Donors will receive private tours of the future Biosphere Center.
I love it. I'm excited. We talked about the multiplex is manifesting and becoming more of a real thing. Let's talk about the center. What
Yeah.
are the updates? What do we need to know?
Well, absolutely. If Santa is listening, I will say Santa number one on my list this year is to hear good news from the federal government on our infrastructure grant. So we are trying to patiently await news from.
When will Santa let you know?
Well, that we'd love to hear from Santa because that means we'd know in December. But so far, there's no timeline from hearing from the Green and Inclusive Community Building Program. So we're just being patient. We applied back in the spring, and we know that our application's been reviewed and that decisions are coming out. And then in the near future, could be December, could be January. So Santa, please hear our pleas. We're looking for that good news.
I think Santa hears you.
I think so. Yeah.
He's out there.
We've been good.
Absolutely.
I believe
we've
it.
done all our homework. All of our design
Yeah.
work is done. We're just ready for that next phase of capital funding.
So those organizations don't say a 6-month window, or they just say, "Oh, we're thinking about it. Hang on."
No, on this one, they don't tell us when the decisions will be made. It's
Right.
ongoing review.
And when was it submitted? How long ago?
At the end of February.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. And they did say that they'd be following up in October. They're doing the declined emails first, so we haven't heard. And no news is good news.
No news is good
And
news. I like it.
And that's good up to a point. But we're ready to get going
We're totally
on the
ready.
Biosphere Center. So, and we want to leverage that for provincial support. And yeah, so the opportunity is now. We're
And
ready to go.
as soon as you find out about that, that means how quickly, once you find out, will you be able to break ground?
Yeah, it'll take us about 16 weeks to print all the blueprints, or get all the blueprints in order and procure all the builder to be getting shovels in the
Right.
ground. So we're ready, and the board doesn't want to take on those next steps until we have the bulk of the funding in place for the building. So that means we need that federal grant and a provincial contribution. And super grateful to Gord and Josie as our reps have just been killing it in terms of supporting our applications and helping us to raise the profile with different levels of government.
Now, I want to ask this question and frame it in the most positive possible way. Let's imagine, for whatever reason, that I believe it will work out. Santa has heard you clearly. But let's imagine Santa said, "I'm going to wait a little while." You're never going to stop. You're just going to keep going
Absolutely.
until you find the way, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're always looking down the path. And for example, just yesterday we learned that the federal government is starting to budget for next year. And so that's one of the steps along the way for the project has been to submit requests to the federal and provincial budgeting processes and then support those through those steps. So we'll do it again for next year, but we're really hoping that within this year we hear good news.
And so everything's basically ready to go other than that. The plans are done.
Yeah.
It's cooked. The goose is cooked.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're
That's
ready.
exciting.
It is exciting, and maybe it's the calm before the storm right now. We're just
I hope
gonna
so.
Enjoy.
Kind of looks like that outside right now.
Yeah.
So far, we don't have a private donor, but we do have a private dancer.
Oh,
There's been an offer.
who is it?
It's Chef Ron. I'll just say it
Oh,
out loud.
wow.
He says, "I can't be the private donor, but I can be your private dancer," which I
Wow.
believe would raise a lot of money.
That could actually
That
be
could be
a
leverage
good
right
a
there.
new
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah.
He's got this move called the Baker's Dozen. It'll raise a ton of cash. I just
Wow.
know it. In his
Wow.
gold lame suit.
Wow.
Can't you just see it? I paint visual pictures. That's my job.
Yeah.
How can people find out more about the building itself and the project?
Absolutely.
'Cause you've got a beautiful
folks are
video.
welcome to call Michelle and I directly if they have specific questions. There's lots of information on the website. The designs are up there. The plans. There's a video. There's a fly through. But Michelle and I are always available to chat about the Biosphere Center.
And if it's not a private tour yet, then I'll come to your organization and give you a presentation. We've got some really great schematics and cool visuals to look at, and a few organizations have had a run through from me, like the WIC and Tofino Marine Resort, and I'd love to come and share it.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
Get the accent in person.
Get the accent in person, see if you can follow along.
Absolutely. And we're super thankful for all of the support that we've received in the process to date, and just the community input, the businesses that are excited about the project and keen to support us. So, we want to carry that through with the...
Just while we're on the topic, let's tell everybody why this will be of benefit to our community, because it's a beautiful building and there's meeting spaces. Let's talk a bit about it, if that's all right.
I think we need public space. We need community space on the West Coast and in Tofino. And we just find that when we're offering programs or events or exhibits, that it's really tricky to find a place that is culturally safe and welcoming to everyone. So that's been the vision for the Biosphere Center for many years. We need a space for education, and not everybody wants to learn in an institution. So having a space that's really adaptable for local education opportunities, and also a community kitchen so that we can do culinary training and more food security work. We have some kitchens on the West Coast, but we know that there's a need for a kitchen that can do a bit more and can be used for training.
That's very exciting.
Cam, I'm really excited about the research and collaboration space because it's, it's going to be a shared kind of office with desk space and resources. And for those folks who volunteered with me in my Surf Rider years, the first 3 years, it was 6 years in total. The first 3 years were mainly out of my living room. We had the Stitch and Beach event happening every week with the folks who love sewing and bringing their 10 sewing machines and kicking my husband out, and we were making bags and, it's fun times. We had the film fest there, all like 69 folks on the dock. Probably wasn't legal, but it's done now, so nobody can get me, I think.
Statute of film limitations.
But the Biosphere Center opens up so many opportunities to work alongside your peers, work alongside people that you might not have the opportunity to do in the past. We do so much work in silo, and how much more innovation can be created when we can work alongside other folks in different organizations. So really excited about that shared collaboration space.
I think that information might inspire someone to bump up and be that donor. So the amount of good that it will bring. I'm going to play one song. Tin roof will not rust on the Biosphere Center, but it will be a love shack. Would you agree?
Can't wait.
Love it.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Great song, right?
Yeah, I love that.
Super fun. Let's talk, Michelle. I love that this is helpful to me. Let me do a dramatic reading of the exact card. Michelle, do you want to share more about gifts of impact and how the community can get involved this holiday season?
Cameron, I would love to share that.
People would love to hear it.
Well, we've talked about it a bunch already. I mean, gifts of impact are what it sounds like. It's giving a gift that makes an impact. And whether that's giving to a cause that's really meaningful to you, or you're volunteering your time at an organization that's important to you, or maybe you have a skill or a trade that you want to contribute. Cam, I've seen you all over town this year.
I have been all over.
Different fundraisers. You were at the Saltwater Classic, you were at the Surf Rider, you've done a bunch of things, and it's just wonderful because we are a community who is passionate about helping and giving these kind of gifts. And I think it's the way we're creating a different system where we're not totally bought into buying material gifts all the time, even though it's great to receive some local items. Locally made items is great, but receiving a gift of impact can really inspire a new way of doing things that is better for the climate. It makes you feel happy. Usually when you give a gift of impact, the person who receives it or the organization receives it, it just creates this help me out with that word.
Reciprocity.
That's it.
That's a good one.
Right? And you feel it. It's like, it's the season of kindness and everybody feels it. It's the trickle round effect. And I really encourage people to think about what kind of gifts of impact they can give. And it's not always accessible to everybody. People can't volunteer their time or give a donation, and that's fine too. It could be something different. It could be, I'm going to take your dog for a walk, or Coley's always available, by the way. Or
that was smooth.
Or it can be letting someone in front of you in the lineup or smiling at someone. I think it's a great way to help each other feel happiness and help a community thrive. And it goes beyond the holiday season as well. And so I really love to see gifts of impact and continue throughout the year, not just in the holiday season.
Lots of folks may not want to be on the air, so I suspect that's why maybe no one's called, but I know someone's listening. So if they want to come down and talk to you in person, when and where, or how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, I told my husband I would share my cell phone number on air, and he was like, really? But I think that's okay.
I think it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, text me. I'd love to meet you. 250-522-0142. I'm down to hear whatever gift of impact you have to share, or maybe you're an organization who's thinking about starting up a volunteer system where you are giving your employees hour paid work to go and volunteer in a organization that's meaningful to them. The Wiccan Initiative do it, and I think it's really great, and it provides accessibility for folks who can't just volunteer in their own time. So yeah, give me a text, give me a call. I'd love to chat more about gifts of impact.
Say it one more time.
My cell number is 250-522-0142, and also there's an article I wrote in this month's Tofino Times, and my contact details are in there. And
great.
Thanks to Baku, he's also sharing his gifts of impact by letting us print in the Tofino Times. I mean, it's happening everywhere. There's good things happening everywhere. You have us here on air like this. Everybody's sharing the love.
I always have fun. I'm addicted to the love, and that will come into play in a bit. What else do we need to say? Anything else?
Well, I think just in the spirit of generosity, a big warm season greetings and thanks to all of the volunteers in the region. People are volunteering on boards. We're really grateful for those folks who take the time to be a part of our organization and committees and boards. And big best of the season to everyone.
I would say it's a very great group of people to be involved in. So if you're hearing that and you think, I want to be a part of it, just go down and visit.
Beautiful. We'll be in the office for the afternoon. Come and see us.
I love that story. And thanks for the mug. They're very attractive.
Thanks,
mug.
Cameron.
The gift that you brought me,
The gift of impact.
So
gift of coffee.
Can people go purchase this too? That is a really nice mug.
Stop by, grab a CBT mug. Absolutely. Have a chat. We've got some beautiful artwork for sale in the office as well. So, yeah.
That's fun. Michelle and Rebecca, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks so
for having
much.
us.